I think I'm live. Yes, I'm doing my first Google Hangout. What's up, everybody? I am excited. This is your girl, Liberated Lola Barber, and I got some All I Do Is Win, Win, Win playing in the background because that's all we're going to do going forward is win, win, win. Hope you guys had an awesome day. I hope you are expecting to have a blast with me this evening because I'm expecting to have a blast with you who have just joined our free real estate investing Google Hangout. I just began introduced to Google Hangout not too long ago, so now I think I'm an addict. I think I love Google Hangout, and I think I'll do them all the time. Hopefully, I won't drive you crazy with them, but we'll always have a good time when I do them. Again, my name is Lola Thompson Barber. Let me fix the computer. Like I said, I'm new to this, and I welcome you. I am a real estate investment trainer, national real estate investment trainer and mentor, and I have been doing that for about 10 years now. I love it because I get to help people. I get to help people build bigger and better lives. I get to help them live through their dreams. I get to help them help other people live into their dreams, and that makes it a phenomenal, phenomenal way to live life. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. As I say, I've been doing real estate investing for the past almost 10 years. Been in and out of the real estate industry for, I'm scared to say because then y'all can be adding up numbers, but probably close to 20 something years. First getting my real estate license at the age of 19 in the great state of New York. I am from Brooklyn, New York. Go Brooklyn. I know I shouldn't do that, but I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I first got my license there. I loved real estate. I always told people I love real estate. I mean, I like the houses, I like the architecture, I like to walk around in them. I loved real estate. I used to go to model homes as a hobby. You know those people, that go to the model homes and not really gonna buy one because really most of the time they can't buy one. And at 20-something years old, I definitely couldn't buy any of the houses that I was looking at, but I aspired to purchase them one day. And so I used to go see them. I tell people I used to go see model homes so much that my, at the time, 2.5-year-old son, Jonathan, who's now 22, almost 22, 21 and a half, he used to tell people that he had a bedroom that had a fish hanging from the ceiling. And they would come over to my house. I lived in a condo at the time. And they would come over to my house and say, what bedroom is this kid talking about? He was talking about the bedroom at the model home because that's how much his mama used to go. Matter of fact, I could tell you the development in Maryland. It was called Potomac Knolls. We went there on a regular basis. It was one of the first really premier, when they start building the big, big homes, communities in the Southern Maryland area. And I love going there. So real estate has been a part of my life for a long time. My mom is a veteran real estate agent, and I kind of kept it going. Did not keep my license in New York, but then got it again down here in Maryland, which is where I currently reside. And I got to tell you, my real estate license portion wasn't really long-lived, not actively. I discovered really quickly that though I liked real estate, I did not like dragging people around or having people drag me around, rather, in my car burning up my gas to show them stuff that they probably wasn't going to like anyway. No offense to the real estate agents, just saying. It didn't work for me. It works for a lot of people, but it didn't work for me. So I very quickly learned when I jumped back in, probably in the early 2000s, the late 1990s, early 2000s, that I wanted to be a real estate investor. So I started seeking out ways to make that a reality. I came upon a gentleman who was training in real estate investing. He taught me everything he knew. We developed a partnership going forward and created another company, LRE 101, which some of you may be familiar with. In the Maryland area, we did great things. I personally have taught over 400 people one-on-one. That's why I love one-on-one training, how to invest in real estate on a one-on-one basis through a wholesaling method. And we're going to talk about wholesaling here tonight because just a little bit off the subject, wholesaling is, to me, the entry point of real estate investing. Turnkey investing is the exit. That's why I call this the whole story. We're entering with wholesaling. We're exiting with turnkey investing because that should be your ultimate goal, to buy and hold. So I got involved in real estate investing. Like I said, I taught over 400 people one-on-one, held their hand through the process, helped folks leave their jobs, fire their 9-to-5s, make 6 figures on their own independently as real estate professionals, real estate investment professionals, So many of those people have gone on, excuse me, to become real estate investors professionally in the commercial realm, to be landlords of multi-unit buildings, to be trainers themselves, to be powerful real estate agents specializing in things like short sales. I have a gentleman who made buku dollars in our program. Now he is a short sales specialist and he leads a team here in Maryland. Just people went on to do amazing things. When I'm on Facebook sometimes and I see some of our former students and I see they hang their shingle as a real estate agent or as a real estate investor, I get excited because I know that that was born out of what we were able to share with them. In addition to that, I am a mom, as I mentioned. My son is 21 years old, going on 22, and I am a single woman. And this business is a business that you can do, ladies, even if you're single. You don't need guys to come with tool belts and all of that kind of stuff. You don't need any of that. I can tell you exactly how to get it done. And we're going to go over ladies in real estate investing in the wholesaling field. My background is also multi-level marketing. Some people like it, some people don't. I love it. I think it's a divine way to make money and to increase your income. And I believe in having at least 5 streams of income coming in at all times. 5, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 streams of income coming in at all times to make sure that your cash flow continues. Because see, I've been, I'm telling y'all the pretty part of the story. I've been laid off 3 times, fired 1 time. I really wasn't that great of an employee so far as making me get there on time and me not using up any of my days I had to take off because, hey, look, they were my days, so I figured I could use them. So, but I have been laid off a number of times for companies going out of business, and I was fired once because I refused to go against the grain when it came to how I was morally going to handle my job. And so I ended up, anybody who's been let go that many different ways, that many different times, probably isn't the best employee. But I knew from the time I was young that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And a lot of you who are watching this Google Hangout, I really hope that if you have a desire to be an entrepreneur, if you have a desire to change your life from being 9 to 5, nothing's wrong with 9 to 5. If you love your 9 to 5 job, mwah, mwah, good for you. Most people don't. If you don't wake up every morning going, man, I can't wait to go to work, then that ain't you. But if that's you, and when you get there, you're excited about being there, you're passionate about what you do, and you would do what you do for free anyway, yeah, I know you wouldn't do that, right? Then probably you don't love your job as passionately as you could if you were doing something that was at your core and that you were really passionate about. So, like I said, I've been in network marketing probably for 25 years, longer than I've been in real estate investing, have had great success, 6-figure earner in network marketing industry. So I know a little bit about people. I'm a network marketing trainer for years now. I know a little bit about training and mentoring, but what I really know about is that when you care about folks and your bottom line is making sure that people have a better life, that's a great way to live your life. So I've been able to find a lot of ways to do that, so many different ways. I've been really, really blessed. I used to do these presentations each and every week live here in the Maryland area at Borders Books and Bowie Library and all those different types of things. I relocated to North Carolina, came back, and so now I'm doing them virtually. I also do them live, and if you email me at info@boundlessinvestments.com, I will send you a list of the places that I will be over the next couple of weeks, next month, and you can come out and check me out. But to this, I said that this was a free real estate investing training, and we were doing it via Google Hangout, and that's what it is. I'm not doing this to get you to, dig into your purse and get your credit card, and give me a bunch of money tonight. If that's something that you decide you want to do as you get to know me better, then that's powerful, that's awesome. But this is real information. This is free information that I want to share with you. Someone asked me the other day what I was getting ready to say. Someone asked me the other day why I wanted to share this with people. Wasn't I losing out by giving up all my secrets? No, I'm not losing out by giving up all my secrets. Let me tell you something. There's no such thing as competition. The only person you competing with honestly and truly every day is yourself. Get that, catch that. First and foremost, the only person you are competing with is yourself, bottom line. So I believe that everything we get is to give. Everything we learn, it's to teach. So back after I finished learning and went through my learning curve and made great money in the industry, I decided I wanted to share this with other people. Because learning in the beginning, before I found the right mentor, was difficult. It was hard. It felt like impossible. I was spending dollars and dollars and money on top of money and going and sitting full of rooms full of people who knew far less than I did. okay? But for some reason was getting up, running to the back of the room, giving these folks all their money. Again, I love mentoring. I'm all about getting a coach, but you got to watch who's coaching you. So I started teaching this business, or rather we and my partner and I started teaching this business because we wanted people to learn the right way. One of the reasons why real estate investing has, you know, it has a positive connotation, but for homeowners, a lot of times when you come at them about purchasing their home, it has a negative connotation. And that's because people have been getting got. Negative, you know, unmoral real estate investors have been going out there, taking people's houses, stealing people's property, bamboozling them, fooling them, rehabbing stuff, and it's not really rehab. That's why we became real estate investment trainers, so that we could train good people how to do good real estate investing, and then hopefully help them learn how to teach people as well. The bad apples in the barrel spoil the whole bunch. And so that's why I like to teach people so that they get it done the right way. Also, the reason why I wanted to teach is to let people know that it can be done. Now, I mentioned those big shows that people go to. Oh, my goodness. I'm not going to call any names, Stan Merrill. I'm not going to say nothing about Robert Kiyosaki. I'm not going to talk about any of those, say none of those names of those people. But I will say this. I've been to them. I've seen them. I've gone there, gotten all excited and gotten happy and everything. But now, you know, I go because I'm seeing what the people out there are doing in the industry, because I just want to keep myself abreast of how people are teaching and just see how people are responding. And when I go, it makes me sick to my stomach, because people sit there and they're praying, they're hoping that this person in front of the room, first of all, you're looking to see the dude you saw on TV at 2 o'clock in the morning. He's not there. He's on a yacht somewhere, okay? And I'll explain to you in a minute how he can be on a yacht somewhere and how much money they are making, those shows that go around the country, by doing what they do. But people go to those places and they sit in the room and they're looking and they're waiting and they're just dying to find out how they're going to become millionaires, how they're going to fire their jobs, how they're going to pay for a nursing home for their mother, how they're going to put their kids through college, how they're going to pay off their bills. I mean, honestly, sometimes, you know, you're in a situation where you're laying in the bed at night looking up at the ceiling. You ain't seeing the ceiling. You're seeing all them bills just file through your face, just go past your eyeballs. And look, you're looking for a way out. And I'm suggesting to you that real estate investing can provide that for you in a big way if taught properly. That's why my banner says real estate investing done the right way. The other thing that makes me want to really teach this at this point is because so many of us took a heavy beating from the real estate bubble bursting. I raised my hand. I was one of the ones who got smacked, not as bad as some, because we saw it coming, because we understand market trends and we knew that everything was about to go downhill. So anything we were into, we got out of. But I got smacked because I was smack in the middle of teaching an industry and making all of my money from an industry that was based in real estate investing. So around about that time, you couldn't give it away. I had people calling me saying, oh my God, I bought 5 houses. I know you told me not to try to rehab and you told me to resell, but I did it. Now I'm stuck with them and I've lost my primary home and my wife has left me because we don't have our primary home anymore, and I don't see my kids. All of this because they didn't know how to properly invest in real estate. Okay, so that's why this is important to me, to make sure the market has people who know what they're doing in it. And I just want to give back. Like I said, I believe everything you give, everything you get, you should give. So this is my give back to you tonight. And I think I was going to try to go straight through, but I'm going to be giving up a lot of information and moving kind of fast. So what I may do is continue it again next week, Thursday. I may do with part 2. Depends on how much I get done in the amount of time, in the next hour. Depends on how much I get done. I really left the last amount of time for anybody to text me any questions that you might have so I can answer them for you. All right, where are we going? Real estate is the cornerstone of wealth. Now, it always has been. Like McDonald's ain't about burgers, it's about real estate, okay? Everything is about real estate. It's the one thing that's always going to make you money. I don't care if you bought 10 houses and they all valued at 0. You can rent each and every one of them bad boys out and make money if they're in the right place and they're the right property and you have them set up the right way. We're going to go through all of that about putting stuff in houses and all that kind of stuff as I talk to you this evening. So real estate is something you want to get into. And like I said, tonight we're going to do from wholesaling to turnkey. Might not get to the turnkey till next week, but that's the flow of what we're going to do. So we are going to start. I think that there is a Q&A function. And don't laugh at me because I told you I don't know anything about this Google Hangout thing. I think there's a, uh-oh, I think I just broke it. Okay, let me fix it again. All right, there is a question and answer function, and hopefully that will work for us this evening, and we will be able to get down with the get down, and I will be able to answer any questions that you have. But if not, like I said, email me to info@boundlessinvestments.com, boundlessinvestments.com. You can follow me at boundlesslola on Twitter, at boundlesslola on Instagram, and Boundless Lola on Facebook. See, they all match. That's about branding. We're going to have a class about that one day too. All right. I want to say, first of all, thank you for sharing this time with me this evening. I know you could be doing a lot of other things. As a matter of fact, because this is from the comfort of your home, you probably are doing a whole bunch of things. You can see me, but I can't see you, so there's just no telling. You may be feeding your children or whatever, but if you can sit down and get a pen and some paper, I'm about to give it up. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of information. All right. There are several different types of real estate investing. There is developing, there is rehabbing, there is landlording, and there is wholesaling. Oh, by the way, I keep saying Boundless Investments because that's the name of my company. Boundless Investments, Lola Thompson Barber. Nice to meet you. All right, see, I just want to get into this and teach. So, real estate investing is developing, rehabbing, landlording, and wholesaling. 4 different ways to make money in this industry, all powerful, all awesome. All right. Landlording lends to that turnkey word I keep using, and I'll explain that, like I said, a little bit later on. I told you guys how long I've been involved in this industry, which is a pretty long time. Been in real estate for over 20 years. Been in real estate investment training and investing for about 10 years now. I've done literally over 150 deals easily, maybe a little bit more than that. I think I actually stopped counting them. But wholesaling is what I specialize in. And wholesaling is finding distressed properties. What's a distressed property? Well, it could be a burned out property. It could be an abandoned property. It could be a property that someone passed away and left, and now the family members don't want to be bothered with it. And I know that sounds crazy, but there are 2 properties right this minute that I'm getting ready to take over that fall into that category. They fall into the category of the person doesn't want it anymore. I know that sounds crazy, right? Who wouldn't want a house anymore? But one of them is a single family, one of them is a 2-family, as a matter of fact, and one of them is a 4-family. So it happens, and that's why wholesaling is powerful, because people do want to get rid of those properties. We call them distressed homes, ugly homes. They are vacant properties, okay? Wholesaling is simply about getting properties from people who no longer want to hold on to them. You can find them on violations list. Baltimore City and a lot of other cities have violations lists with properties that have been abandoned are listed because the folks don't take care of them. So they have a broken window. Let me see. They might have, part of the roof is missing, all those different types of things. How come properties become distressed? Like I said, people move away from them. People pass on. People get sick and they can't maintain their house. People get divorced. And sometimes they both leave the house. Sometimes one of them leaves the house, and because there's not enough income coming into the house to continue to pay the bills, properly, they leave it. Or the one person that's there is still there. But let me tell you something. We like to say, but distressed houses have what inside of them? Distressed people. And distressed people stop paying attention to stuff like grass and hedge bushes and flower beds and newspapers and stuff that's falling. Believe it or not, especially somebody who enters their side door, when that person is really distressed and they're going through it and they really can't figure out how to pay that mortgage, for some reason, the appearance of the house a lot of times becomes less important to them too, because they're almost kind of like letting it go before they have to go. You understand what I'm saying? They're letting it go before they have to go. So when you're looking at these properties and you're looking for distressed properties, you'll notice these little things that you see. You'll notice that the mailbox is full, right? And if it's not full, then you could tell it's dirty, wet mail. Because remember, it's raining and all that stuff, and the mail is in there, and nobody's taking it out. It's still stuck in the box. One thing people don't realize is when you're going up the stairs of a house, if no one goes into that property for a long period of time, there's a dust that covers it. It's the little pieces of trees and stuff from when it rains. It covers the stairs. And when you go in front of those stairs, even if the grass has been cut, because sometimes neighbors will cut the grass because they don't want it looking jacked up. They don't want it to be an eyesore. But when you look on those stairs of that house, you'll see it's like covered with not a silt, but it's just a light layer of dirt because no one has been going up and down the stairs. You'll see those rolled up newspapers and flyers stuck in the handle of the door, right? You'll see stuff stuck in the glass of the door. And you'll see, typically they'll cut the grass, but it won't be edged up really nice like it usually is, all right? You'll see sometimes if you look in the house, ain't nothing in the house. And you realize that, hey, that joker's empty, and it's been empty for a while. You'll notice that there never any cars in the driveway. You never see anybody pull up. No garbage ever gets set out. All of those things are things that will make you start to pay attention to a property to know that possibly it is a distressed property. There are lots of them out there. You know, we'll go over ways to find motivated sellers in a minute, but you have to, one of the main ways is talking to people. Telling them that, you know, I help people. We buy houses. You see those signs all the time. So telling them that, you know, I help people find, I help people get rid of properties that they don't want. I help people in distress situations. Going to a probate attorney and partnering up with them is a really good thing to do because they can tell you who passed away. I know it's kind of like ambulance chasing, but they can tell you who passed away and they can tell you what properties may be available. If you develop a good relationship with them, that might be a steady flow that you have of properties that you can find out about. When you're doing wholesaling, it's imperative that you know how to identify a good deal. Imperative. The money that you make, your profit is made in the buy. So it's made in the purchase. It's not made in the sale. You got what I'm saying? I'm saying that if you don't determine when you're purchasing that property that there's enough in it for you to get paid and for the person who's purchasing it from you to make a profit or to hold on to it and to still have a good deal that they've gotten, then it's not valuable. Let me go over something with you, which is what wholesaling is, because I did not say that. I said it briefly, but let me specify. All right. Wholesaling is, let's say that this is a house. Nice little gray house. Nice house. So let's say this is a house. I call up Mr. Jim and I say, Mr. Jim, I passed by this house on Albuquerque Road. And I see that the house on Albuquerque Road looks like nobody's living in a while. Mr. Jim, are you interested in selling that property? Mr. Jim might say, oh, yeah, sure I am. Sure I am. I said, cool, Mr. Jim. I'll come over there and talk to you. I meet with Mr. Jim and I put the property under contract, right? Then I take the property and I sell it to Mr. Robert. But what I do is I put the property under contract with Mr. Jim, let's say for $5,000. I'm using a low, simple number. And then I sell the property to Mr. Robert for $10,000. Okay? So that gives me a what? A $5,000 profit for doing what? Making a couple phone calls, sending some letters, doing a little bit of driving. I say that's a nice payday. How many of y'all wouldn't mind making $5,000 for about an hour, maybe let's say a day's worth of work? I think that's pretty darn good. The way that you determine whether or not, if you have any questions about what I just said about what wholesaling is, please put in the chat. If I can find it, I'll answer the question. Or like I said, email me to info@boundlessinvestments.com. How do we know if it's a good deal? There's several tools. Of course, you have to know what the heck you're doing. You have to know neighborhoods a little bit to know whether or not you're even wasting your time going into that neighborhood in the first place. So you need to do one particular thing first. And when you find a property, you need to do what's called the Mayo formula. Not mayonnaise like you put on your bread. Nope. Mayo, M-A-O, maximum allowable offer. Okay? That's how you're determining whether or not it's a good deal. Mayo formula goes like this. 30% below market, right? Look at the property. So you go 30% below market. You minus repairs and your fee, your wholesale fee, that $5,000 I just talked about. Now, it's always not going to be $5,000. But let's just use that as an example. So you add your wholesale fee. So you're going to do the Mayo formula, minus 30% below market, minus repairs, minus wholesale fee. And that's how you come up with whether or not it's a good deal or not. Okay? Let's say we put a house under contract for $100,000 and then sell or sign a contract for more than what we paid for. So our goal is to make, okay, let me just stop for a minute. Back in the day, I said it back in the day, we were clocking 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I've even had a deal where there was 70 grand to be made on a wholesale deal. That means the assignment fee, that wholesale fee, that money that that person pulled out for maybe 2 weeks worth of work was $70,000. I said back in the day, okay? Now the market isn't quite as fatty as it was before, okay? It's still coming back. So because it's still coming back, that $70,000 payday, it's possible because I got a friend in DC actually who just did a wholesale deal that was $70,000 that they made on it. However, it's not as plentiful as it used to be. But this is my thing. Somebody asked me at my last training last week, well, Monday of this week, how do you know if it's enough money? Are there any deals that you won't do? Now, there's some rehabbing deals that I wouldn't do, but wholesaling deals, I'll do any wholesaling deal. People don't turn their nose away from money. It doesn't matter what it is. So if I told you I was going to give you $200 for finding a house for me, the way I tell you to do, which is really simple, by doing a letter writing campaign, making 2 phone calls, and showing up at a settlement, would you take it? I said, would you take it? Yes, you would take it. And so any wholesale deal that's putting more money in your pocket than you had before you started that is beneficial to you. Don't turn away any wholesale deals, okay? Let me see. One thing about wholesaling is we only buy houses that are at a deep, deep discount. Like when people come to tell me, oh, my cousin has a house and she wants to get rid of it, and I say, how much she owe on it? And they say, she owes $700,000 on it, but it's only worth $5. I'm not interested. Now, there are some people who will go through the whole short sale process and then wholesale a short sale property. I'm not interested in that, and I don't teach that first and foremost up front. I just don't. My partner I told you about, who was one of my mentees and is now a short sale specialist, he'll do that. I'm not doing that. Because to me, when you're learning the game initially, that's just too much to be going through. The reason why we like to start with wholesaling is because wholesaling is simple, y'all. Wholesaling is not hard. You won't lose your shirt. We'll go into the benefits of doing it again in a minute. But wholesaling is powerful because it's the easy way to get in and the easy way to get out. Now, what I will say about wholesaling, because I am going to segue towards the end of this or by next week to the turnkey portion, is that wholesaling is like, for those of you who are in your 40s like me, yeah, I'm in my 40s, I said it. So for those of you who are in your 40s, you remember the whole A.L. Williams buy term insurance and invest the rest? So the whole point was don't spend all your money, right, on term insurance. You can take what you would be spending on whole life or variable or universal life, and you can invest that in something. So that's you using your money for yourself instead of letting those insurance companies use your money for you. Problem is, most of us didn't invest the rest, right? You just spent it. Same thing with wholesaling. Wholesaling is the term insurance of real estate. Wholesaling, people come in, they get that money, they're gone. They don't bother to take the money and put it into something else. They don't bother to take the money and then put it into a rehab and then end up keeping that property, or find an investment program that'll do it for you to be able to hold onto that property and for you to be able to get residual income, cash flow each and every month on those properties. So even though the whole thing is to get the money up front, you're doing yourself a disadvantage, because when you're doing wholesaling, it's great if you got a couple of bills to pay and you got something you want to do and you understand that you should be taking that money to go and buy something to hold eventually while you learn, okay? Because one thing about wholesaling, let me share this with you. Wholesaling is the best friggin' place to learn this business, the best place, because it's low cost and it's low risk to get involved. So when you're doing wholesaling, you're going to learn rehabbing, because you got to learn how to cost out a property, how to figure out how much those repair costs are. You're going to learn developing, because if you're out there searching for properties, you're going to meet people, you're going to talk to people, you're going to go to the real estate investment associations and learn about what these developers are out there doing. And if you're smart, if you're brilliant, and I know that you are, you're going to become an expert on whichever neighborhood you decide you want to focus on. Because let me tell you something, a niche will make you rich. The same thing goes for real estate investing when it comes to wholesaling specifically. Because if you're able to, we'll talk about building the investors list in a little bit, but if you're able to meet up with an investor or you're able to build rapport with these investors. And that's real important in every industry. It is extra important in real estate investing and in wholesaling, because people come to trust you. Why y'all didn't tell me my collar was messed up? What's wrong? Okay. Because it's extra important that you build rapport with people, because you want them to trust you, because you want to be the #1 wholesaler that they come to. You want to be the #1 person that they come to when they're looking for a specific property. And if you go out and you research and you make it your business to become an expert in certain neighborhoods, they'll come to you each and every time. Matter of fact, they might come and buy from you from that neighborhood and they don't even know anything about it. But because you know so much about it, when they met you at that real estate investment club or that real estate investment association or some kind of real estate party, investing party or whatever that you give, because they learned about all that you knew about that particular area and neighborhood, they want to do business with you, because they don't have to go do the research now, because you're giving them papers and documents and flyers and all kind of stuff and just giving them information on why they want to put their money into a property in that neighborhood. So you want to become an expert in your neighborhood. Here in Maryland, there's a lady, I forget what her last name is. She's an older lady, and she's like an expert in this area called Fort Washington. This lady knows everything about Fort Washington. When I tell you everything, I mean everything, okay? And this woman is a millionaire easily, because people come to her. When they want to buy houses in Fort Washington, they come directly to her. Other real estate agents come to her to get information about houses in Fort Washington, because she has become an expert at what she does. People, this is not a hobby. This is a business. So anything that you decide to designate as a business, you definitely want to become an expert at it so that you can be at the top of your game for what you do. Okay, let me see. Okay, when we talk about motivated sellers, we want to make sure that we have respect for the game. When I say respect for the game, what I mean is, excuse me, I need to take a sip of something, excuse me. Forgive me. When I say respect for the game, what I mean is, understand that when you go to talk to these people about their properties, or when you call them on the phone, or when you're sending them letters or whatever, because I walk the streets and knock on doors if the house looks like it's not quite, up to par. But please remember that you are in this to help people. What did I say? The reason why this has been such an awesome run for me with real estate investing and with multi-level marketing is because I understand that at the core of it, at the very base of it, that my goal is, and I get the opportunity to help people every single day, okay? So when you're on the phone with the motivated seller, you want to help them. Don't try to get over on them. Please don't try to get over on them. That's not cute. You don't want to do anything to anybody that you wouldn't want them doing to you, your mother, your father, your child. You want to treat these people with respect. And guess what? I know you guys have heard this old adage a million times. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. So you want to take time when you're on the phone with these motivated sellers, when you meet these people, when your cousin Jeffrey tells you about this lady named Sue who has a house she wants to get rid of because her husband died 2 years ago and she just can't she can't bear to be in that house anymore. You want to make sure that when you get on the phone or in front of Miss Sue, you asking her how she's doing. You're telling her you understand that she is sad and you want to do whatever you can do to help her. But most of all, you want to be sincere when you say that to her, because people know when you're lying. They know when you really don't care, okay? And you will get referral business from people by showing how much you care about them and by going the extra mile to let them know, hey, look, Miss Sue, I know this is not easy for you. I'm clear that it's not easy for you. So I'm here to help you get through this situation as best as I possibly can. I'm going to make this be a win-win situation for the both of us. I'm going to make sure you get paid, but of course, Miss Sue, this is my business, so I'm going to get paid. Can we both be okay with that? You want to talk to these people like you want to be spoken to. You want to develop a rapport. I've developed a principle called the RUN principle. The R in RUN is for rapport. The U is for understanding what you're doing, understanding that situation, and the N is for negotiating appropriately. Like I said, if Miss Sue is 75 years old, you're not going to talk to Miss Sue the same way you would talk to a 30-something-year-old investor who may have bought the property 6 or 7 years ago when everything was jumping off in real estate investing. You're going to speak to those two people differently. So understand, RUN, rapport, understanding, and negotiating appropriately. That will help you every single time. I teach my private students that on a very, very detailed basis, and I actually go into a great deal about negotiating skills because negotiating is important. They call me the closer. Got to tell you, in my personal life, that may not be the best thing all the time. But they call me the closer because I have learned how to get in that conversation and weave myself into it and let the person and get the kind of person to come over to where I want them to be, which is okay because I'm not about manipulating anybody in business. As long as you're doing it for a person's best interest, it's a-okay. All right, let me see. Why do people want to sell their houses to us as wholesalers? Because a lot of times they don't think they have a choice. There's a lady, okay, there's a lady now that I know of who had to move because her dad is ill. And she wants to get rid of the property because she doesn't have any family that she can trust to take care of the property. She can't stay where it is anymore. She's going out of state. So she feels like she doesn't have a choice. She has to get rid of it. But remember what I said, when you get on the phone with these people, you don't want to treat them like you know they don't have a choice. So you don't want to run them through the mill and try to take all their money and try to not give them anything. You don't want to do that. Okay, so you want to make absolutely sure that you're respecting the situation. Another reason is because some properties real estate agents won't touch. Like if you're playing around up in Baltimore City or Detroit, for my friends out there in the Midwest, if you're playing around in those different places, a lot of real estate agents don't want to list them because the properties are so inexpensive. I don't want to say cheap, but the properties are so inexpensive that the commission is not big enough for the real estate agent to care about it. So they don't want to touch it. And so they can't be sold retail a lot of times, these houses. The reason why people come to wholesale is because they need so much work. I've been in houses that reeked of urine and I mean all kind of other stuff. And folks been living in the corner of the house in a dirty mattress. And really, most people wouldn't even bother to go in there. But we will knock that door down. We'll go in there, investigate, see what's going on. And see, as a wholesaler, hear me now. As a wholesaler, you don't have to clean up any of that. Okay. As a wholesaler, your goal is to find an investor, a rehabber, a landlord, a developer who wants to buy and hold or buy and flip that property. And they're the ones who have to send somebody in there to clean that up. Oh, no, I don't get my hands dirty. I don't mess with no dirty mattresses. I'm not touching no rats in the middle of the floor. None of that stuff. Okay. And as a wholesaler, you don't have to do that because you are simply what? The middle person. You are the middle person. Oh, one thing I forgot to say, because I know a lot of y'all are wondering, do you have to have a license to be a wholesaler? Absolutely not. Matter of fact, you don't want to have a license. We go find licensed real estate agents because y'all are wonderful to help work with us to find the properties that we want. Actually, not really, to get rid of the properties that we put under contract. Outside of that, we don't need to have a license. Not at all, not ever, not in any state do you need to have a license to do wholesaling. So, no, you don't need to have a license. All right. I was telling you that I will go over, I'll tell you a little bit why people like to do wholesaling. It's easy to start, low startup costs. You can be self-employed. You can do it part-time. Yes, you can do it part-time. And it gives you control over your additional income, as opposed to going out and getting a part-time job where you're going to have to be there, you know, a certain amount of hours each and every day, and you're not really going to make that much money. You're in business for yourself, and like I said, you control your time. What are the disadvantages? There's no passive income. Like I said, it's not like turnkey investing, buying and holding and renting and becoming a landlord. It's not like that at all. You're as good as your last deal. And I don't want that to sound negative, because if your last deal paid you $5,000 and you owed somebody $4,000, you now have $1,000 profit. Okay? So there's nothing wrong with that. But just know that it doesn't provide passive income for you. If you can't sell the properties, you have to defer back to the motivated seller. Okay, and sometimes that does happen. I'm not going to tell you every time you can get rid of a property. When I first, let me see, when I first started teaching, I had a student who went out and found, I mean, they found this guy and they put like 8 properties under contract. Oh, they were excited. Now, went to put them under contract sight unseen, which was not the best thing to do. Okay, but they did put them under contract sight unseen, and when it was time for them to find somebody to purchase them, nobody didn't want them because they were in the absolute worst neighborhood in Baltimore City. On top of that, they had tax liens and water liens and all kind of stuff piled on top of them in the tune of tens of thousands of dollars. Because a lot of times in these older neighborhoods, these abandoned houses have been abandoned for a long time. So Baltimore City doesn't care. They still gonna add up the taxes, and somebody's gonna pay them before anybody gets to make any money off of them. Baltimore City is gonna get paid. This said this is a disadvantage, but it isn't really. You have to learn the market. Like I said, it's to your advantage to become an expert at whatever you do. When you get started in wholesaling, what's one of the first things you need to do is educate yourself. You need to understand, like I said, that this is a business. You know, it's not a hobby. You need to incorporate yourself. I think that's very important that you get an LLC or you do or a corporation of some type for yourself so that you're protecting yourself. People out there love to sue. This is the most litigious time in our world ever in history. And so people love to sue you. So you want to protect your stuff. Remember the guy I told you about who lost his primary residence? You want to protect yourself. You want to protect your family. You want to protect your personal belongings and your personal finances from anybody coming after them for any reason. So you want to incorporate your business. Not to mention the tax benefits are phenomenal. Okay, you want to actually learn how to live your life or run your life like a business, as a matter of fact. And one day we're going to have somebody who's going to talk to you about that. Awesome mentor of mine, Mr. Terrence Cash. He puts it down and teaches that information all the time. Phenomenal. Can change your life, can get you back your tax money. It's just phenomenal. He's unbelievable. You can listen to tapes and CDs. You can read books, or you can get a coach. So you got a bunch of different ways that you can learn how to do this business and how to do it properly. At my training on Monday, I was telling, there was a young lady there and she had her pen and she had her paper and she was writing fast. And she was asking me about some really complicated deals. She was trying to get me to sit there and tell her for free how to work through these deals that she was trying to make like tens of thousands of dollars off of. I said, and I told her, why I told her? I told her because there's no way in the world that you're going to sit down and listen to somebody tell you something one time when it comes to this industry, this business, that you're going to be able to go out and do the deal from beginning to end. Because you're going to get stuck in the middle and you're going to say, oh, what did that Lola lady say? She said, and if you get it twisted up, that could be the difference between you losing money and making money. Loving real estate investing and hating real estate investing. Okay? So you want to make sure that you get a coach. Because in the beginning, I started talking about those real estate investment training programs that I hate so much, the national ones that go around, because they just dump a bunch of papers. Here you go. Papers on your head. You ain't learning nothing, not unless you get it through osmosis. And I don't think that that's going to happen because I've never seen it happen. I've gone to them, never seen it happen. I've seen too many people come out of there paying 5, 10, 15, 10, 20, 30. You know there's a $100,000 real estate investment training program? And the man don't even meet with you face to face. Now, for $100,000, you need to be giving me a house. Matter of fact, at the end of this, when I start talking about Turnkey, I'm going to tell you about a program that you can partner up with, that I've partnered up with, that will absolutely show you how to get involved in real estate investing in a turnkey way, and they'll do it for you for way less than $100,000 as a fee. Okay? Let me see. Like I said, it is a business, so you want to make goals. You want to put those goals down on paper. You want to put target dates. You want to figure out how much money you want to make a month, right? So what you want to make? You want to equal what you're making at your 9 to 5. You want to make enough to pay your car note and your mortgage. You want to make enough to put aside $2,000 every month towards your child's tuition. You want to make enough to pay your mother's mortgage so she doesn't have to worry about that. What is it that you want to do? You want to make enough to go on a vacation to Tahiti and St. Croix. That's my new joint. Oh, my God, St. Croix. To go to St. Croix and stay there for a month every year when you get your 3 weeks of vacation. What you want to do? Put it down on paper, okay? And make sure that you're looking at it, that you're visualizing it, that you're paying attention to it, that you got it put up somewhere on the wall so that you can remember and see on a regular basis why you're doing what you're doing. You want to make big goals. And you want to find an approachable mentor. Hey, you don't have to use me. Not at all. But you want to use somebody who you can relate to. You want to use a real person, not somebody who's going to be talking to you through emails only and talking to you through like those people at the big shows where they're in front of the room and they hype and they sound like used car salesmen. And there's nothing wrong with used car salesmen, but I don't want somebody trying to sell me real estate investing sounding like a cliche. I want somebody who really cares about what I'm trying to do and is trying to help me learn. All right. Let me go over some more stuff. I need to go faster or else we're going to run out of time. You need to have a team. So your team needs to be an agent, an appraiser, a lawyer or title company, and an accountant. The young lady, she calls herself the real estate queen on Instagram. Hi. She posted this morning. I love it. She was talking about, she said, oh my God, the way you feel when you find out that your settlement's been pushed back to the 30th. And then she said, it's important for you to find a great real estate title, great title company. And it is. Let me tell you something. In wholesaling, remember I said, you're putting the property under contract, and then you're selling that contract to a landlord, rehabber, or developer. So the middle person is you. So you want to find a title company, right, that is going to let you bring that motivated seller to the table, bring the purchaser, the investor to the table, and let the investor check pay for it all. You want the title company to let the investor check pay the seller and pay you and going on about their business, okay? You want an A to C transaction. Now, a lot of times you can't do that. So because you can't do it, you might have to get what they call a bridge loan. In a bridge loan, you get charged a fee. Sometimes it's a percentage of the amount of the sale of the cost of the house. Sometimes it's a set fee. Like they might say, I charge you $1,500 to lend you this money for the day or for the week or whatever it is. So you need to find somebody who does bridge loans for you. I also have someone, and I know now I am going to have to continue this next week, because I have a young lady that I want to bring on who teaches you how to make, not make, but how to raise $100,000 in 90 days for real estate investing. That's hot. $100,000 in 90 days to invest in real estate. She's absolutely awesome. Her name is Lorette Farris, and I'm going to share her information. She has a company called iBoss. So if you go iBoss.com, you'll see a little bit more about what she does. I know I'm just dropping names all over the place, because let me tell you something. Like I said, we get to give. We learn to teach. So I just want to share what everybody has to offer for you guys, because I want to make a change. I want to make a dent. If you never see me again, I want you to hear something that I've said to you this evening that changes the game for you just a little bit, all right? Okay, let me see. Let's talk about your team. Okay, now let's go over an offer. Let's do a quick deal overview. So you're going to make an offer. The offer is going to be hopefully accepted, right? You're going to start your title work, and you're going to begin marketing the property. So you're going to make an offer to the motivated seller. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret that I really usually only tell my paid students, but I'm going to tell you because I want you to walk away with something of value. All of it's got value, let me let you know, but something secret. So when you get on the telephone with the motivated seller, there's a series of questions that you ask them. That series of questions is going to lead you to getting the absolute best deal that you possibly can on this house, this property that you're trying to put under contract, okay? It's this question. Got a pen? You ready? If I can pay all cash and close quickly, what's the least you will accept for this property? Okay? If I can close fast, close quickly, and pay all cash, what's the least you would accept for this property? Why is that important? Because that's going to make them come up with a number. And when they come up with a number, they're not going to want to say nothing too high because they don't want to chase you away. They're not going to want to say nothing too low because they're not going to want to miss out. Because you do know when it comes to negotiating, you say the low number, you just messed up. Okay? because you can't go no higher if you're trying to sell something. Okay? Same thing in reverse. You say the high number if you're trying to buy, you messed up. Because then you can't really go any lower. So if I pay all cash and close quickly, what's the least you would accept? And then after they give you a number, you say, is that the best you can do? And you just shut up. Whoever speaks first loses. Whoever speaks first loses. So if I close quickly and pay all cash, what's the least you would accept? And then they answer you, and then you say, is that the best you can do? I mean, just like that. Man, is that the best you can do? Whew. Wow. And then you shut up. Because when you shut up, then they start thinking to themselves, well, maybe I can do a little bit better than that. I don't know. Let me come up with another number. Maybe she'll run away, and they'll come up with a better number, okay? Some people do that 3 and 4 times. I think that that's just a little bit much. But that is the question that you want to ask. So when you're making an offer, that's the phrase that pays that you'll want to use really for anything. I don't care if you're buying a bicycle, okay? Is that the best you can do? Let me tell you something. If you're buying a bicycle, look, if I come over there and pick up that bike right now and I give you all cash, what's the least you'll accept for it? If I come over there and pick up that air conditioner, well, all of that, and then as soon as they say something, you say, is that the best you can do? And you just shut up and you wait. Okay, so So you make an offer, the offer gets accepted, hopefully, you start the title work. Again, have a great title company, because if they mess up and don't do a title search in the way that they're supposed to, or miss something, you may not be able to close on that property. You may have to walk away, and all the time you spend, even if it's not that much, you're going to lose, because you're not going to end up being able to put the property under contract or market the property to somebody else. Okay, and that makes a difference. You don't want to, you want to do your homework. You want to have a title company that does their homework and is efficient about what they do. So they're looking for liens on the property. They're looking to see how many people have their name on that deed. Oh my goodness, one time there was a gentleman who had put a house, we put a house under contract with, and he had, I think, like 9 brothers and sisters. A quarter of them were dead. I think 2 were in jail, 2 were out of state, and one of the ones just didn't like him, so he wouldn't answer the phone calls. So, you know, we kept trying to get, because everybody's got to sign off on selling this daggone house. So you need to know something like that. Matter of fact, when you're on the phone with that motivated seller, start asking them questions like that. Boy, I'm telling y'all way too much. When you're on the phone with the motivated seller, you want to say stuff like, so let me ask you a question. Is it just you who owns the property? Or do you own it with some of your siblings? You own it with an ex-wife or a wife or, you know, a business partner? You want to ask those questions so that you know how to handle that situation. Okay, you want to ask those questions so that you know how you're going in, so you know what to tell them at the title company. And you can also then, if the title is dirty, if it's got liens and all kind of stuff on it, you can gauge how long it's going to take for you to be able to flip that property or flip that contract, rather. Okay. And then once you get the title work done, you can start marketing it. Sometimes I'll start it before by being real generic, like I won't put the exact number of the house. I'll say, you know, house selling in the Chelsea section of Brooklyn, you know, in the 1700 block. And I won't be specific, and I might put it out there to my investors list, because we're going to talk about that in a minute, building an investors list. I put it out there to my investors list so that they will, see if there's any interest. And if you have people who you know like a particular neighborhood, right, then you know that they'll like it. So you can say, hey, man, look, I got a property in Chelsea. You know, you interested in that? About how much? You know, why it's going to be about that much? How much repair? They want to know how much a bad boy is going to cost to get it fixed up. So you need to learn how to cost out a property, okay? You don't have to be a contractor, but you need to find yourself a contractor that you buddy up with, who can teach you how to cost out a property. Have them take you into a house that they're repairing and ask them, how much is it if the roof has been leaking? What if it needs a new boiler? What if it needs a new furnace? What if it needs a new roof? What about if the stairs are falling down? What about if the windows need to be replaced? What about if the bathroom needs to be replaced? Those are the questions that you need to ask your new contractor buddy. Let me tell you how to find one of them. Go hang out the Home Depot, okay? Or Lowe's, one of those places. Go hang out one of those places, because those guys, that's where they are. Go buddy ladies, dress up, not, you know, fancy, but, you know, look good. Go in there and act like you don't know how to find a light bulb or something, and meet up with one of them fellas and let them help you figure out how to cost out a property. What's in it for them? Well, so that you don't get yourself in trouble. What's in it for them really is that if you find a property, sometimes guys who rehab, they'll end up being your investors, because they also want to purchase and hold. Okay, so you let them know, I'm out here, I'm a wholesaler, I'm learning, and if I find something really good, I'll pass it on to you. Better yet, everybody that I meet who wants to rehab and doesn't have a contractor, I'll turn them on to you. So then that person is going to be willing to not only show you how to cost out a property, but when you find one, they'll be willing to come with you to go to that property to see how much it's going to cost and tell you, and do that with you a couple of times. Now, typically, once you start doing it, you'll learn how much it is to rehab a bathroom, rehab a kitchen, how much a total gut job is, which means total rehab, you know, how much it is to replace a boiler, how much it is to replace floor and a carpet, and if the house is 1,200 square feet. Those are things that you will learn over time when you start going in and out of the properties. Okay, quick overview again. You find a buyer. You create an agreement with the buyer to sell them that contract. You qualify their funds. Yeah, because look, everybody says that they can buy. When you go to these real estate investment associations, there are so many perpetrators in there. I just want to smack them. There's so many people in there faking, acting like they done 50 deals and 20 deals, and they don't know anything. Okay, and the best way to learn that is to go to a place where what's the brother's name? Johnson, Andre Johnson has a RIA, not a RIA, it's an investment group that meets, I think, on the third Wednesday or something in the Maryland area. And when you go to Andre's event, he actually will go through deals. Like, he'll go through deals with you. You can go up to the board. When you go to those type of things, that's when you really find out who's done something. Last time I went to one of his events, there were these three guys sitting in the back, and they were looking like, they knew what they were doing. I got it going on. I'm a big time investor. So, how you doing? My name is Lola. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm an investor. I buy and flip, and I buy and hold. Okay, cool. By the time the thing was over, these two ain't know nothing. When I say nothing, I mean Nuffin. They know nothing, but they were in there perpetrating. So you want to get with the people who really know something to learn. I'm gonna go over. Let me finish this first, and then I'll go over what you do when you go to the RIAs as well, and how you find investors. You want to qualify the buyer, verify the funds. You want to get something from the bank to verify that person's funds. You want to submit the contract, and you want to go to settlement. Get your keys, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, right? You're going to submit both contracts to the title company. The one that you put under the one you put the property under contract with the seller, and the one that you have with the buyer. You're going to submit both of those, all right? Because the back end one is typically your assignment contract or your wholesale contract. Sometimes we'll just do an assignment contract, period, or a fee for service kind of contract that says Joe Blow, will pay Linda Lovelace $10,000 for the property, any property that she finds for you going this point forward. Okay, so you can have that done. Okay, I said I was going to go over. Oh, I got to hurry up. I said I was going to go over how to find buyers, right? So when you're talking about finding buyers or investors, you want to, again, build rapport. Look, the same thing you do on the front end is the same thing you do on the back end. If you email me to info@boundlessinvestments.com, I'll send you my list of 29 ways to find motivated sellers. Okay, and so that has a bunch of things on it. But the same list applies really to finding buyers. You can put ads in the paper. Same thing you can do to find sellers. You can get out when you go into neighborhoods that are being revitalized, especially. You'll see people doing work on houses. So those guys a lot of times are buyers. So you go and you walk neighborhoods, you drive neighborhoods, they call it driving for dollars, and you can go meet, shake hands and all that kind of stuff, and meet people who are actively looking for properties. You want to go to the real estate investment associations and shut your mouth, sit and listen and see who's really got something going on, right? Not the perpetrators, because you'll be chasing them forever. They'll be telling you they got money and it'll never surface, and you'll be 6 months trying to go to settlement because they'll be trying to find the money. Or they'll be trying to be a wholesaler along with you in the middle of the deal. Don't fool with them. So sit around, ask questions. Who's doing deals? Where are they doing deals? And you begin to get those people's cards and put them on your list. And then every time you get deals, you email those out to those people. Okay? And then that way, you're able to build your buyer's list. Okay, so you're going to go to Real Estate Investment Association meetings. You're going to pass out cards and tell everybody that you can get properties for them and you buy houses. All right, you're going to go to just real estate investment groups. Go to Meetup. Meetup.com is the new best thing since sliced bread when it comes to networking and meeting people. So go to Meetup.com and go to different real estate investment groups and see who's there. See who's there and see who is interested in purchasing properties and who's rehabbing. And ask around. Nobody, secret squirrel, not going to make any money. So you cannot be, private eye. You got to tell everybody, I buy houses. I'm looking for people who buy houses. Can you want to work with me? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? And that's how you're going to find more and more people. The way you make the most money in wholesaling is to make the most offers, to find the most properties, to be busy. I always tell people, sometimes once they get a property under contract, they think they can go sit down. They get comfortable. They say, ooh, don't do that. When you get a property under contract, move faster, do more, go find more properties, because I think that activity breeds more activity. And I think that God loves lightning fast movement. When he tells you to do something to help you, when you start doing it, I think he gets excited and he brings you more stuff. Okay. So find leads and jump on them quickly. Build your buyers list early. Market your deals at investment clubs, which is what I just said. Let me see. Okay, wholesaling is not a get rich quick. Wholesaling is a way for you to, it's about volume. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna make millions of deals off money off a wholesale deal. But my thing is, get out there, find them. So what if you only do 2 deals a month and you make $2,000 a piece on those deals? That's $4,000 extra a month for a fraction of the time that you spent at your 9 to 5 job. You're gonna make $4 grand. So what if you only make $1,000 per deal? If you get $1,000 in assignment fees, so what? That's $2,000 extra in your life. What can you do with the $2,000 extra? So wholesaling is not about gouging. You don't want to ask for too much money over, what the value is, the before repair value is of your house, because you want the investor to trust you. You want them to be somebody who comes back to you over and over again and refers their friends to you and their other investor associates and acquaintances to you for them to come and do business with you. So it's not about gouging people. It's not about taking the most money or trying to get over on a motivated seller. I've given money back to the motivated seller. There have been times in deals. I had a deal that I was doing in Oxon Hill. It was a condo. And the couple owed like $3,000. It was in the height of everything. So we were selling it to, and I don't usually sell to end users. I don't usually sell to people who are going to live in the house. But this particular time I did. So they owed like $3,000 on the property left. That was it. They had it forever. And the person who was purchasing it was purchasing the house for like $150-something thousand. Well, initially I realized I had done a contract with them to pay them. I think it was like, because I didn't think I was gonna get that much. I had done a contract with them, I think, to pay them $100,000 for the property, maybe a little bit under 100. So when it came in at 157, I went back and I amended the contract to give them back more money. Okay, I amended the contract to give. I think it was just under 100,000, and I amended the contract so that when I closed with the seller, that they wouldn't get 100,000, they would get 130,000. Okay, no, 120,000, because I made 30-something thousand dollars off that deal. So I did it so they would get 120,000 because I didn't want to. You don't want to take advantage of people. You know what I'm saying? By the same point, when you're dealing with the person who's the buyer, you're not trying to charge them a bunch of money, because if they buy a bunch of houses from you, you make more money. So you have to take care of people. Okay. Okay, bird dogging. I'm only gonna cut you. We're gonna have to continue this next week. Bird dogging. Bird dogging is great. I don't want to be a bird dog. You don't want to be a bird dog, because pretty much bird dogging is about you're a scout. You're a bird dog. You know what bird dogs do? They go out and they hunt, but they don't really get paid nothing but like some food at the end of the day. So you want to be a wholesaler, because the bird dog just get pennies. They just get a little bit of money. But as a wholesaler, you can get yourself a nice solid fee there in the middle. But beyond that, you get to learn the game, because you have to know how to cost out a house, because you have to know, how to develop relationships with investors. You're building yourself a funnel to be able to go out there and eventually buy and flip or buy and hold on your own. So wholesaling is like the school of real estate investing to me. You learn all the basic things you need to learn, and then you can get fancy later on when you start flipping, when you start rehabbing and buying to hold, so that you can build what? When we talk about wealth. Speaking of which, remind me to tell, you can't really remind me, but there's a program that we have, a total wealth series that we're doing, myself and my business partners, that is awesome. We just kicked it off last night. It was fantabulous. I'll tell you about that at the end. I got a note. Yep, I'll tell you about that at the end. All right. So, wholesaling is powerful. It enables you to get yourself directly into a deal. It enables you to start making money fast. It enables you to learn the business without losing your shirt. And I remember I told you guys about the RUN principle. That's rapport building, understanding the process, and negotiating appropriately. You want to do that with each and every single deal. And that's what I teach my private school students in great detail. I told you there were 29 ways to find motivated sellers. I'm going to say them really fast. Like the guy on the car commercial at the end of it, or like the people who talk about the side effects that will make you drop dead on the prescription commercials. Okay, here we go. Place newspaper ads, placing community paper, placing at penny saver, bandit signs, drive through neighborhoods, look for houses with that poor upkeep, search multiple listings, search for expired listings, contact landlords who are evicting tenants, contact landlords with properties for rent, Pre-foreclosures, REOs, bank-owned properties, tax sales, estate and probate sales, direct mail, properties with outstanding building codes violations. That's another place I forgot to say. Violations. Oh, I did say that. Violations are where you can find good deals. Fire damage properties, condemned properties, out-of-area owners, really good. That's where I'm getting these next 3 deals from, out-of-area owners. Network with other people, attorneys, CPAs, realtors. Network with people like the mail carrier, the pool person, the lawn guy, because they know what's going on in the house, and they will tell you. Buy them a box of donuts, they'll tell you. Go to Bird Dogs, put signs on the side of your car. I have those. Distribute business cards everywhere you go. Dress to impress. Use flyers, put door hangers out, put stuff on community bulletin boards and stores and grocery stores and stuff like that saying that you buy houses. And do not be a secret agent. Tell everybody you know what you do, because when your mouth is closed, guess what? Your wholesaling business is closed. One of the ways I told you that when you get on the phone with a motivated seller, you're going to ask them these questions. Well, when I train you individually, I do what's called a trilateral call. So trilateral call just means I'm on the phone along with you, and I'm listening. You, me, and that seller are on the phone together. So in the beginning, when I get on the phone with you, I'm probably do that like about 5 times. You know, on my private one-on-one, I do it unlimited times. But I do a 6 month. It's 6 months with a webinar a month, and you get 5 one-on-one sessions with me, and I do 5 calls with you. I'm going to get on the phone with you 5 times, and I'm going to do the talking probably the first 3 times. And then the next time I'm going to get on the phone, and they're going to know that you and I are on the phone together, and you're going to do the talking while I'm on the phone with you. And then the last time, the 5th time, I'm not going to say anything. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to get on the call. You're going to have to call me back and tell me what happens. But you're going to learn as a result. And in my private mentoring program, you get a CD that you can listen to that teaches you. You can hear other people doing trilateral calls. They're recorded, and you can see how they work so you can learn from them. So we do those 3-way calls with you because I believe that this is a business that you have to learn with hands-on experience. I think you have to learn through application. I don't think you can learn it. I don't think that you can learn it sitting in a room with people telling you something for hours and hours and hours and hours. I think there has to be some level of one-on-one. And I do 3-day seminars or 2-day seminars, but then usually I'll extend to those who are really serious some level of package for people to be able to do one-on-one mentoring with me at some level. If you don't see me and talk to me all the time, then I'm gonna get on the phone with you to at least show you what a trilateral call is. You may get a packet that with DVD set that shows you how to cost out a house, going on a tour in the house, walking upstairs, downstairs, seeing the leaking spots on the ceiling. You need to see something that teach you how to appropriately apply what you need to do in this business. Let me see. And so in my business at Balanced Investments, that's what I do. We do teach you property evaluation. We do weekly webinars or teleconferences with you to make sure you know what's going on, to keep you abreast of what's happening. We give you tips on marketing, make sure you learn the negotiation process, make sure that you really find your way in this business and that you are building the right relationships. If you're local, I may even go to a couple of real estate investment association meetings with you. A partner of mine, Javon Walker, and I will be starting a real estate investment association before the end of this year in the Maryland area, and it's really smart for you to do. I am going to have to do the rest of this, and you want to hear the rest of it. So we will do, I don't know if I'm going to wait till Monday, but I think I might wait till next Thursday, or maybe I'll do it on this coming Monday. Matter of fact, I will commit to that. On this coming Monday, I will do the back end. I'll do rehabbing, landlording, and turnkey. Okay, not very long on. There ain't much to say about landlording, really. I mean, there's some things you need to know, but what I want to teach you in the next session is the power of turnkey investing. I want to make sure you understand how that can set you free. That can financially liberate you. I shared with some folks on I want to tell you about our Total Wealth series that we have coming up again next Wednesday, that if you are broke or you are financially broken, to me, it is like being in some level of prison. There are things you cannot do. Think about it. When you're working a 9 to 5, you're not making quite enough money. They tell you when to come in, when to leave, when to eat, Sometimes when to go to the bathroom if you're in a call center, okay? When you can take care of your kids and stay home. And why do you have to do that? Because you are a slave to the money that they pay you. I know it takes care of you. Don't get me wrong. If it works for you, then that's cool. But if it's not working for you and you need to find another way because it's stressing you out, or you want to create legacy money, generational wealth for you and your family, then you need to find a better way. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. That just does not work. It doesn't work. So what I just told you is the beginning. I would love for you to come back and hear the whole story, the back end, which is the turnkey investing. I've decided I'm going to do it on Monday, okay, at, let's say, the same time, 7:30. And we'll cover turnkey investing, and I'll show you how lucrative that can be, owning 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 properties. I know somebody who owns 600 properties. Imagine you cash flowing, even if it's only $200 on each property, that can elongate, that can reinforce, that can fortify your retirement income. So if you're somebody out there who has 401k or IRA, be on the next Google Hangout so you can find out how I can take and supercharge that for you, maximize it for you, because guess what is the best kept secret? And it's a dirty little best kept secret. You probably will outlive your retirement income. That's right. I said it. You probably will outlive your retirement income. Then what you going to do? Go work at Auntie Annie's? You're going to go work at McDonald's? You're going to be the greeter at Walmart? Oops, sorry, there are no more greeters at Walmart. What are you going to do? So in the next session, we're going to cover turnkey investing. We're going to cover rehab into turnkey investing, and we're going to show you how to reinforce, supercharge your retirement, and to make sure that you don't outlive your retirement money. I told you I was going to tell you about the Total Wealth series that we're doing. It's myself and 3 of my business partners, Miss Javon Walker, Miss Valerie Love, and Mr. Jerome Tucker, and we are putting it down. It's Total Wealth, wealth as far as your health, your personal development, your finances, and I'm teaching a course in there about passion to profits. So I'm showing you how to dig out your passion, create a project, and learn how to profit from that so that you can live the dream each and every day. You can even do that part-time too. So I thank you so much for joining me today, this evening. This is your girl, Lola Thompson Barber with Boundless Investments. Follow me on Instagram at Boundless Lola. Follow me on Twitter at Boundless Lola, and at Facebook, at Boundless Lola. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. I hope I added some nuggets to your life that'll help you go a little bit further. And I tell you what, make sure that tomorrow is a powerfully productive day. Remember, email me at info@boundlessinvestments.com. I can't wait to hear from you. Thanks for joining me this evening. This is my first Google Hangout. Woo! There's a feature on here that's supposed to make clapping noise, but I don't know how to do it. Woo! Thank y'all. Have a good night. Peace and blessings. Take care.